Hello, James Smith from In This Corner for Fight Now TV here in Las Vegas at the Richard Steele Health and Fitness Center, where the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame will announce its 2014 inductees. Here's President and Founder Rich Marotta. So class number 2 for the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame has been announced. Rich, are all the kinks out now?
Well, I don't know about that, but there were a few last year, and there were some mistakes made last year, and we've tried to rectify them and hope to continue to rectify them this year, although we did have a great first year, and we had a wonderful series of events last year, and we're looking forward to a big 2014 as well.
Give us a Reader's Digest version of class number 2.
Well, I think class number 2, the Reader's Digest version, I guess the condensed version would be dominated by heavyweights. We've got Evander Holyfield, and we've got George Foreman. We've got Jack Dempsey, Joe Louis, and Sonny Liston, of course, all deceased, but they're nonetheless, we're going to honor them because they're part of the great history. And Archie Moore, if you consider, I guess, that he fought for the heavyweight title, even though he was known more as a light heavyweight champion, he certainly would be considered. So I think it's a class that's dominated this year as far as the boxers go by heavyweights, but Roberto Duran, I think, represents the non-Nevada residents pretty well, as does Cornelius Boza Edwards as our Nevada resident here who lives here in Las Vegas.
It's kind of a difficult thing when you do it for Nevada, because so many fighters from all over the country and all over the world have had so many fights here. So it was very difficult to decipher who belongs in. It's not like a typical Hall of Fame.
Right, and that's why we wanted Smitty to break it up into these different categories. Non-Nevada residents. I mean, for example, you look at our people last year, like Larry Holmes and Oscar De La Hoya and Julio Cesar Chavez. I mean, these are guys who fought here so much and meant so much to the people of Nevada, the boxing fans and the sporting public here, that they had to have a part here, you know, even though they weren't Nevada residents. So that's why we had Nevada residents and non-Nevada residents, and that's why this year we added the class of adoptive Nevada residents, of which the great Joe Louis, who lived here the last few years of his life, also is honored because he became a part of the Las Vegas fight scene as well, even long after his career was over. He was a stalwart at all of the fights, and he was a greeter, of course, at Caesar's Palace, a statue, the beautiful statue of him at Caesar's Palace. So we want to pay homage to all of the greats, both in and out of the ring, and we haven't talked about the out of the ring, but the in and out of the ring that have made Nevada boxing what it is.
And in terms of the out of the ring folks, I was so happy that one of the guys I grew up listening to, watching, and have called many fights with, the Colonel gets in.
Yes, we all get a chance somewhere along the line to work with the Colonel, and we're all happy about it because the guy is a total character.
Congratulations to the Colonel, Bob Sheridan.
Well, Jimmy, thanks very much. As you know, you were very influential in helping me to be remembered in the Florida Boxing Hall of Fame, which we both share membership there. So to add, now that we both live in Nevada, to be a member of the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame with all the rich history here, it's really a thrill to be recognized by your peers for the hard work and hopefully good work that you did for the past 50 years for me.
It must be so difficult for a guy like you who's called fights all over the country and all over the world to narrowcast it down to Nevada. But when you think of Las Vegas, Nevada, and things that you've done here, what stands out?
Well, to me, the greatest fight that I ever called here, and there's been a lot of them, as you know, Jimmy. I'm up to 962 world title fights now. But I think the greatest heavyweight fight was Larry Holmes and Ken Norton for the WBC Heavyweight Championship of the World, when you had two athletes. I mean, I did a lot of Ali fights as well. But that particular fight, it was dead even going to the 15th round, and that was just a classic and one of the best heavyweight. If people want to look back and see that, it's on YouTube, I believe, but one of the greatest heavyweight fights of all time. And that's one that sticks out here. And, of course, the Hagler-Hearns-Leonard fights were all sensational. Most of them were here.
Well, the host for this second class of the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame and an inductee, referee Richard Steele, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
What does this honor mean to you?
It means a lot to me because, you know, I mean, this is my home, and these are my peers, and these are the guys I see every day, you know, and work with almost every week, you know. So it means a lot for me to be inducted to the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame, you know, especially the second time around, and, you know, it's a big deal.
You called so many legendary fights. I had the privilege of being ringside for so many and watching so many from my home in Florida before I moved here. One or two moments that sticks out for Richard Steele?
Well, always, you know, the Hagler and Hearns fight. it sticks out. Chavez and Melchor fight, you know, it will always stick with me. And, you know, I love all the jobs that I've performed. I loved everything. And boxing has always been a big deal of my life.
We were there on the scene for year number one. I can't think of a better inaugural one than your first one. We'll be here for year number two. I think it's going to be even better.
Well, I hope so, you know, and this year, you know, even myself, I was running around at the last minute trying to do this and that. I never even got a chance to eat. But, you know, it seemed like everybody had a wonderful time. And if you talked to Mike Tyson or Larry Holmes or Ray Leonard and you talked to the fans, it didn't have to be a fighter, but I especially wanted to appeal to the fighters and let them know that this was something, you know, for them that was important for them and important for us as well. Everybody seemed really happy with that night. I mean, it was a gala, and we just want to have nights like that for the sport of boxing. It's meant a lot.